You feel lost for a reason. Have you ever felt like you're not fully living as you? Like you're playing a part in a story that wasn't written by your soul, but by your parents, your culture, your trauma, or your fear? If you've ever woken up feeling disconnected, like your life is too quiet, too hollow, too artificial, that is not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's a sacred invitation. Your soul is whispering, and what it wants is for you to come back home to your true self. Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers of the 20th century, didn't just analyze the mind, he mapped the soul. He called this return to your true essence the process of individuation. But this isn't just about psychology. It's about spiritual transformation. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through Jung's hidden roadmap, step by step, so you can find the self you've lost and become whole again. 1. The mask, the false self the world made you wear. From the moment you were born, the world began shaping you. Be a good boy, a nice girl, a smart student, a strong man, a pretty woman. You were taught who to be in order to be loved, praised, and accepted. And slowly, your truth began to disappear under layers of performance. This socially approved version of yourself is what Carl Jung called the persona, the mask you wear for survival. The persona is not a lie, it's a partial truth. But the danger is, when you start to believe that's all you are, you may wake up one day successful on the outside, but completely hollow on the inside. You've fulfilled the script, yet something's missing. That something is your real self, buried beneath years of conditioning and suppression. Jung believed that the path to healing starts by recognizing that you are more than your roles. He wrote, "In each of us, there is another whom we do not know." The journey to the true self begins when you ask, whose life am I really living? That question cracks the mask and lets the soul breathe again. 2. The shadow, the darkness you must embrace to become whole. The parts of you that you hide, deny, or hate. That's what Jung called the shadow. Your anger, envy, sexual desires, jealousy, sadness, rage. These emotions are often pushed into the unconscious because society deems them unacceptable. But here's the secret Jung revealed. Your shadow isn't evil, it's unloved. He said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. What you repress doesn't go away, it controls you from the dark. That's why so many people self-sabotage, attract toxic partners, or repeat painful cycles. They're being run by a shadow they refuse to face. But here's the paradox. The shadow is not just a problem. It holds your power. Inside your anger is strength. Inside your envy is your unlived potential. Inside your fear is your inner protector. When you embrace the shadow with love, not judgment, you awaken the parts of you that were exiled. You don't just fix yourself, you reclaim your soul. 3. Inner masculine and feminine, your soul's hidden balance. In every man lives a hidden woman, the anima. In every woman, a hidden man, the animus. Jung taught that your soul is not one-sided. True self-realization means embracing the divine masculine and feminine within. Not gender roles, but spiritual polarities, logic and intuition, action and receptivity, strength and softness. When you reject your inner opposite, your life becomes lopsided. A man who suppresses his feminine becomes emotionally shut down, aggressive, or disconnected. A woman who denies her masculine may feel powerless, indecisive, or dependent. Wholeness happens when you stop fighting these energies and begin integrating them. This is not new wisdom, it is ancient. In Taoism, it is yin and yang. In Hermeticism, the sacred union of opposites. In alchemy, the conjunctio, or mystical marriage. Your true self emerges when you allow these energies to dance within you, rather than battle. 4. The soul's call, dreams, symbols, and synchronicities. Your soul speaks, but not in language. It whispers through dreams, symbols, and synchronicities. Jung believed the unconscious mind is not a trash bin for forgotten thoughts. It's a living intelligence, a divine oracle, and if you learn how to listen, it will guide you back to yourself. Have you noticed recurring symbols in your dreams, or strange coincidences that seem too perfect to ignore? These are not accidents. Jung called them synchronicities, meaningful events that mirror your inner world. They are spiritual breadcrumbs, leading you to deeper awareness. Pay attention. Your dreams may reveal truths your ego refuses to face. A snake may represent your transformation. A storm, your suppressed emotions. When you decode the language of the soul, you begin to realize the answers were never outside of you. They were always within, speaking in the sacred tongue of archetypes and vision. 5. Individuation, the sacred path back to wholeness. Carl Jung taught that the greatest task of your life isn't to chase success, avoid pain, or fit in. Your greatest task is to become whole. This process, this sacred journey, he called individuation. It is the gradual unfolding of your soul, the integration of every lost, hidden, and rejected part of yourself. It's not about becoming someone new, it's about peeling back everything that you are not, so that what remains is the soul's pure essence. Individuation begins when you realize you are not just a role, a name, a product of society. You are a divine mystery unfolding in time. But this path is not gentle, it is transformative. To individuate means you must walk away from the crowd. You must question the beliefs handed down to you. You must confront your shadow, embrace your opposite, listen to the voice within, and face the deep loneliness that comes when you no longer find comfort in the false world. This is the ancient hero's journey, the death of the ego, the descent into the underworld, and the rebirth of the true self. And like all sacred journeys, you do not return the same. Jung was deeply inspired by ancient spiritual traditions and alchemy. He saw individuation as a psychological form of spiritual alchemy. Just as lead is turned into gold, your fragmented self must be burned, purified, and reshaped into something eternal. And once this process begins, you will no longer seek wholeness out there, not in people, not in status, not in distractions, because you will have discovered the divine pattern hidden within you. And when you follow that pattern, you don't just find meaning, you become it. 6. The true self, the eternal flame within you. The true self, what Jung called the self with a capital S, is not your personality, your history, or even your conscious mind. It is the center of your being, the eternal source beneath all the layers of identity. It is the divine blueprint of who you were before the world told you who to be. To meet the self is not like meeting a stranger. It is like remembering a part of you that never left. It only went quiet while the ego ran the show. Jung said the self is both the goal and the source of individuation. It calls you from within your dreams, your suffering, your longings, your breakdowns. When you feel like life is crumbling, It may be the self tearing down the house your ego built, so it can rebuild one that fits your soul. This self is ancient. It speaks in archetypes, in symbols, in intuition. And when you get still enough, silent enough, you'll hear it whisper truths that no teacher, no guru, no book could ever give you. In mystical traditions around the world, the self is known by many names: the Atman in Hinduism, the divine spark in Kabbalah, the Christ within in Christian mysticism, the Tao in Taoism. It is not something you earn, it is something you uncover. And when you live from the self, you are no longer ruled by fear, approval, or past wounds. You are rooted in something eternal. You become the eye of the storm, the flame in the dark, the soul that remembers itself even when the world forgets. To know yourself is the greatest liberation. It doesn't make you more, it makes you whole. And once you've touched that center, no one can take it from you. Because you have found what so many spend lifetimes seeking, the truth of who you are, beneath everything the world said you should be. This was never just a video. This wasn't just a lesson in psychology. It was a call to return to the truth, the soul, the self you abandoned to survive. If something in you stirred, if something felt remembered, that's your true self. Waking up now. Don't stop here. Subscribe to The Unseen Ethic, where we explore the mystical, the psychological, and the divine truths forgotten by the modern world. Like this video, share it with someone ready to awaken, and comment below, what mask are you ready to take off? Because as Carl Jung once said, the world will ask you who you are, and if you do not know, the world will tell you. Let your soul answer instead.